My name is Gus Campbell, and today I'm going to be talking to you about food quality and food safety. A bit of description about the topic and why I selected it. Food quality and food safety is becoming a bigger and bigger issue for consumers, and this is creating a bigger market and more guidelines for growers, producers to have to meet to get into markets and to get demand for their products. New Zealand organic sector has grown 30% between 2015 and 2018, and this just shows how much the industry is growing, and this is why New Zealand is really getting into the organic industry. Worldwide sales of organic food has increased from 18 billion in 2000 to 97 billion in 2017, and this just highlights the opportunity for this organic industry, and this is why I think that New Zealand needs to keep growing and growing. Important for producers to recognise worldwide organic growth and the opportunity this presents. It produces a huge opportunity, especially in New Zealand, as we have such a good climate for organics. Organics is a really hard thing to grow because you can't use pesticides and herbicides, and that's very hard to do with an extremely wet climate or an extremely dry climate. And since we are kind of in the middle, it allows us to be able to grow organics, and that is why Oceania has so much organic land. Conventional growers increase their food safety and quality standards to compete with the rising organic market. So the conventional growers now have to up their game and up their quality and their standards of food safety in order for them to be able to compete with organics. Some people might not necessarily just want organics, but they just want a trusted and healthy version. And by upping the standards of conventional growers, this allows them to also have a good market and for them to, prosper. I chose this topic as I believe food quality and safety concerns provide huge opportunities to New Zealand producers, for example, the organic market, as I've talked about. For the production in New Zealand, 69.8 million hectares were organically managed at the end of 2017, 20% growth between 2016 and 2017. And the 20% growth in such short amount of time just shows how much this market is expanding right now, and that's why I think that's really important that New Zealand make the move and get right into this organic industry. Half of the global agricultural land in Oceania, and there's 35.9 million hectares, and that was in 2017. And there's a huge increase in overall production, particularly in Oceania, due to our climate, which allows us to grow much more organic or healthy growing food with less sprays, which is what the consumers are wanting and demanding. So that's why we're producing it. But it's a huge opportunity for New Zealand producers due to the climate, and this allows us to produce much higher yields because organics already makes it hard to produce high yields, but since we're in New Zealand, it allows us to be able to produce higher yields than anywhere else in the world, really. Onto the production more worldwide now. The EU's introduced sustainable use of pesticide regulations, which growers need to comply with in order to get the apples into the country. So this is an example of not only needing it to be organic, but you need conventional growers to also be meeting more standards in order for them to get demand for their product, as so many people's morals in buying food is on health, and how health and quality is so much more important now than ever. Strict food safety regulations in developed countries. So many of the not so developed countries still struggle with being able to afford healthier, more organic products. But in the developed countries, this is being a much more big concern for the consumers. Conventional growers now have to focus more on the food quality and safety, for example, spray residues, and this is why it was so important in the UK with the spray residues, because otherwise we couldn't get the apples into the country. And this allows them to be competitive in organics, not just based on price, but also on quality. The consumers, a study in Arkansas showed 36% of people said the major reason for shopping at farmers markets was that they wanted their food to be free of chemicals. So this just shows that the growing market for free of chemicals and how much people are really demanding this. China's rising middle class is causing a huge increase in the demand for safer products such as organics. Since China is the biggest country in the world with the highest population, this has a huge effect on any demand for any product. And so this rising middle class, now they're able to pay for more expensive products that they've been wanting but not being able to afford. More awareness towards food safety and food quality worldwide, and this means that there are more and more people constantly demanding it, and that's why the market is growing so much at the moment. Consumers in developed countries expect high food safety regulations with conventional farming and or growing. Thank you.